Today we'll walk through some details of this feature and how you can get it set up in your organization. All right, so as far as configuration, this is built upon the Power Apps portal platform, and it includes packages from Power Automate as well as Field Service. So when you provision your portal, it will include both of those services as well. You start the process of setting this up by going to the make.powerapps.com and then go to create, and you'll be able to find your field service portal currently in preview within the list of pre-made templates. By clicking on that template, you have a fairly easy provision step. You name your portal, you enter the base URL of the address of that, and then you select the language that you'll want your portal to be in. Currently in preview, this will be available in North American markets English only, but in the future we will open this up to additional markets and languages. From this point, you click create. I already have a portal in this environment. You're only allowed one portal per environment. But when you create, it takes approximately 30 minutes to have this portal created. You'll be updated within the UI here. You'll also receive, the org admin would receive an email stating that the portal is created. And so once your portal is created, as I mentioned, you'll have some Power Automate flows as well as some new field service settings that you'll be able to use to set up this experience and then test it out. So the first thing you'll want to do generally is go to the Power Automate flows. This experience includes a number of notifications sent to the users throughout their booking life cycle. So the notifications include when a work order is initially scheduled, and then you come within a certain time range of when that work order is set to be due and occur. You will receive a reminder notification. This can be a maximum of 7 days in advance of the scheduled date, up to 1 day in advance. This notification is sent through a Power Automate flow. Other messaging is reschedule, and we'll show all these. We'll get there. Reschedule. So if the scheduled time changes after that reminder was already sent, we would send an update saying, "Hey, your notification, your booking has been rescheduled." There's also a traveling notification, which would link to the portal where the end customer could see this technician on the way en route to the destination address, and there's a completion message as well. So after the service is complete, we will send a notification informing that. So to send these notifications, there are flows for SMS and email. You enter after provisioning your portal, after everything's set up, you go to Solutions, and then you'll see the Dynamics 365 Power Apps portal flow. So you can click into that, and then you can see the 3 flows that ship with the field service package, the portals package. There's create notification items for bookings. So this is essentially a flow that creates a queue of notifications that would be sent. And then there's 2 individual flows for sending the actual email notification and the SMS notification. And the configuration step here is out of the box, we ship with a Exchange connector enabled, as well as the Twilio connector enabled for SMS. And so you'll want to use your own first-party Exchange and Twilio accounts. You can also use alternate connectors for email or SMS. We just ship with these as they are popular connectors. To swap in an alternate connector, you just clone the flow and then replace it with your own connector. With these out-of-box connectors, however, you will need to do the step of creating your account or setting up the connector with your account. So, for example, with the O365 Exchange connector, you would just click here and then you would add your new connection, which would authenticate with your account, and then you'd be ready to go. This gives you control of the sender of this email, so it can come from your company. You could swap in the generic out-of-the-box email connector for Power Automate if you would like as well. However, it doesn't support controlling those sender details. On the SMS side, very similarly, you would want to go into that. You'll want to go into that flow, edit that, and then similarly, we have the Twilio connector here, and you'd want to configure your account details here. Add your new connection. Currently, we're using a trial account with Twilio for testing. You could also use that. Eventually, you would want a paid SMS provider. In the future, we will explore alternatives such as first-party SMS providers as they become available globally. So from there, you have your portal provisioned. You have your email and SMS flows ready to send the messages. Those are the first 2 steps in your setup. Your next step would be going back to field service itself. So we'll switch into CRM. We can go to settings. And then, as I mentioned, with that portal that is provisioned, we would it includes a solution for field service, which would be this customer portal area. And within that, you can see that all the settings you can create with this, or settings you want to configure for this portal you just provisioned. We can walk through these quick. Enable notifications. This essentially turns the experience on or off. All of the portal interactions are driven through this notification. So when this is off, no notifications are firing, and it's for all intents and purposes the users would not access this portal. So it is default. It is shipped default off so that you don't automatically start sending notifications, but then you'd want to switch this on after you get everything configured. Reminder timing. Again, we send reminder messages to all bookings that are scheduled, and you can set this with between 1 and 7 days. If you set this to none, it essentially shuts off that reminder. However, you could still send other notifications like traveling. Communication type is multi-select. So if you want to send SMS and email to the customer, or SMS or email, you can disable or enable these communication types. Enable map. This is in case you want to use this experience with the ETAs and things, but you do not want to show the actual technician traveling on the map. You can disable this value. Resource details. Again, we show the resources image and their name when they're traveling to the technician's location. We do not show that in the reminder or the we don't show that in the reminder or the reschedule, because the resource could be changed between when it's booked and when those messages are sent. But when the technician is traveling, we can show their picture, and we'll show that when we illustrate the demo. Excluded work order accounts and excluded accounts. These are important for a couple of reasons. There may be some work order types that just don't make sense to send reminders and send technician traveling type experience. So we allow you to exclude those. Similar to excluded accounts, if there's some accounts that do not want this messaging, or if you're testing, and probably an important area here, if you're testing an environment with an environment that may have real customer contact information, you'll want to add those accounts to the excluded list to make sure you're not sending them incorrectly sending them bookings if you're testing with that data. The next big area is display. And so we do allow some branding within the portal. Right now it's, you'll select your font style, the primary color, the text color, and the background color. This allows you to align the portal with the colors of your brand. These basically influence the portal maker side of things, which you could also, I'll show you in a second. We can go into the Power Apps portal maker experience. You could also edit CSS if you have a professional dev on staff. The next area is content or code snippets. Sorry. These basically are dynamic pieces of text that can show up in the portal, the email, and the SMS. And so for a new setup of this, there are a few things you'll definitely want to adjust here. Some are, if you don't use the word terminology booking within your organization, you could change this string to be like appointment or something like that. Just it gives you a little more flexibility. And then when you update this string, it would show that word appointment in all places that it would exist within the email, the SMS, and the portal itself. Yes, and then this is the value you would adjust there. The ones you would probably want to update is there is a title here. And so, currently it's Contoso Ltd. You'd want to update that title to your brand name. Similarly with the company name, this is just a string for your company name. We're calling this, for the demo purposes, Contoso Cable. We have a general support contact email and phone number, which if you don't want to display this on the portal, you can hide those things. Otherwise, you'd want to update that to your contact information. Otherwise, there's a footer as well that you'd probably want to update, if you have legal requirements, and then a mobile header for header image and things. Currently, you cannot upload a new image here, but you can upload a image via the Power Apps portal designer. So let's hop over there, and people are familiar with the Power Apps portal. This will be a familiar experience. Those of you who have not used this, we strive to move everything as much as possible into field service settings, so you don't need to jump around to different areas. But there's some elements you may want to adjust there. So let's take a look there. All right, so this is the portal we had provisioned in this environment. And all you'll need to do is click on Edit. While this is loading, there are a few things in the Power Apps portal to note. If you are a customer with an existing Power Apps portal, you will not be able to integrate this experience into that portal currently. This would be a standalone portal that your customers can use and is designed as such. We are looking to integrate that in future waves, but that will not be possible today. So this experience would be independent of other things you have set up on portals. There are things about this is in the Power Apps portal, the experience is mostly locked down, so the UI of the portal itself cannot be modified other than the header, the footer outside of the fixed area, and then those content snippets that we had reviewed previously. Okay, so this is the example of the predefined template, and then these are examples of the content snippets. You could also update the content snippets here if you would like. And again, it will reflect in all the different areas, and it'll also reflect back in the C1 settings side. So you can adjust that phone number, that same text, etc. Also here, the important thing that I want to show here is uploading your header image. So right now, we do not have the ability to upload that image from the field service settings side. So you will want to come here, if anything, just to upload that image. And again, it's just a basic upload dialog that you can use. Other than that, the only other modifications you may want to do here is, again, if you wanted to, for example, you had a legal footer, specific legal footer you need to add into the portal, you'll want to edit that here. If it goes beyond what our content snippets support. You can also add JavaScript and tracking tags within the content snippets themselves. So from here, if you wanted to add a script tag or something like that, that would fire when the portal loads. Okay, so I think that covers the configuration and customization of the portal. So let's go into how you test your new experience. All right, so there are a few important things. As I mentioned, excluded accounts and excluded work order types, those are important if you have a test environment with real data. If you have a clean test environment, it only has demo data, no customer contact, you should be good to go. However, if you have real customer content in there, I highly recommend using those excluded accounts and exclude all of those accounts just in case. We want to be very careful with the messages that are sent out. So to test, the way this works is we send the emails notifying of the different states of bookings to the primary contact of the service account. And so here you'll want to go in here, you'll want to create a contact, essentially as yourself, whoever's testing this. You'll want to set up their email and their phone number in this contact. And then obviously their first name and last name. That's really all the required data you need in the contact. Similarly, an account, you'd want to open up a new account. You'd want to add an address for the account so that we know the service location that the technician will be traveling to, and then you'll want to associate the contact you had just created as the primary contact of that account. Okay, so from there you're set up. You're ready to schedule a work order. And so we can just hop over to the schedule board. We have a couple work orders that are already scheduled. So these are for Contoso. They're associated with my the primary contact and account I had just set up for this demo. And so we'll just drag these onto the schedule board. Right now, the reminders are sent within 7 days. So I scheduled this today essentially. So I should be getting a reminder message in just a moment. So it's just stating this is a reminder that you're booking with, this was a content snippet of customer company. So Contoso Cable is coming up, notify you in the way. So, and we're confirming the booking number, if they have to call or reference a number, the scheduled date and time, the address that the technician will be traveling to. Clicking view details clicks over into the Power Apps portal, which again, it confirms the booking time, the address showing visually on a map where the technician will be traveling to, and then the scheduled time and date. And also they can contact the parent company, or the service, the customer company, the C1 company from this portal directly. So the next state we can show is let's show the course scenario is if the technician now is traveling. Typically, this would be done by the technician using the field service mobile application. For this demo, I'm not currently using the application, but I will just set this to traveling. Um, Very important for this experience is the technician workforce needs to be using the application with location sharing enabled. And so in CRM in field service CRM settings, you'll want to enable the ability to share your location, and then the technicians using their handheld device would have to share their location or grant access to share that location as well. And then we would grab that last location of where they were when they set this to traveling, and then we'd be able to take that location versus where the service account is and send the ETAs. And so let me just set this to traveling. I'd previously been using the field service mobile application and transmitting signals, so I do have geolocation events stored already. And so in just a moment, we will get a new updated status. Okay, this is the second email we receive. This is stating this time we show the actual technician's real name. We give the approximate ETA and the time they will be coming, and then we allow them to track their technician's location on a map. All right, so this is the traveling experience. And again, we are showing the estimated time of arrival for the technician heading your way. This takes into the real time zone as well. We can show the technician's name as well as their image, as long as that's configured. If their image is not configured, we'll just show their initials, so that'd be AM. Again, we'd show the scheduled time, the booking number, the location, and the contact details. If I was driving in my car right now with the field service mobile application, it would be transmitting my Latin long approximately every 60 seconds. And then that would allow the car on this map to animate along a smooth route and until it gets to the location. When it gets to the location, this bar at the top fills up to blue as in they're there, and Abraham McCormick has arrived would be the new terminology, new language there. Additionally, if you have SMS enabled, you will be receiving mobile text messages as well, which clicks through into the same experience that you would see on desktop. This experience is built to be responsive, and it will work consistently on mobile tablets and the PC desktop. So similarly, you see your map, you see your driver destination, you see your technician, and you see the booking details and times. All right, so that was the traveling experience. From there, the typical steps in the work order lifecycle or booking lifecycle would be to complete the service. And so similarly, when the technician they complete their work on site, they would set their status to completed from the field service mobile application. Again, I'm just doing it from the web for now. I will also receive a completed SMS and or email. All right, and so this is the completed message. Your service is complete. Again, very basic details. We're just showing your booking's complete. Again, we show the technician that had completed service, a quick thank you, and the time it was completed for record purposes. Again, clicking through the portal shows essentially the same details that had come through in the messages. We're showing the technician's name, the fact that they have completed their image. Again, the time service was complete, and the booking number for reference for historical purposes, or for the customer if they wanted to contact support or for other reasons. Coming in wave 1 2021, we will also be GA this feature. We will be including the option for a customer voice survey in the completed message. So in that case, they would click through the message itself. The email and the SMS will be slightly different, encouraging this customer to complete the survey. When they click into their portal, we would have an inline survey directly replacing the map. So that will be coming with the GA of this feature. There's two other messaging types. One is reschedule, and one is cancel. And so those are fairly self-explanatory. So if you have a message that is scheduled, and if it's within that date range of your reminder message, and then that appointment is rescheduled, you would receive a notification, that the customer would receive a notification stating that the booking has been rescheduled. If it is not within that time range of reminders, so if it's not within the default 7 days or less, and they have not received a reminder message, they will not receive a reschedule message if it is rescheduled. And I just received the booking is the reminder message. So let me just reschedule this. Say it moved an hour or so, and then I'll show quick the reschedule message. These two messages do not include a link to the portals. They're just stating that your service has changed and the new service time. And this is the reschedule message, so just stating it has been rescheduled, and it shows the new time of service. And similarly, let's show the canceled state. Okay, so we canceled this work order, canceled, and then we also the end user would receive a notification stating that their previously scheduled booking has been rescheduled. All right, so that is essentially the various steps in the booking lifecycle that we're hitting with this. And that one of the goals is really to keep your customers informed of what's happening when their technician's going to arrive, help them better prepare for this service visit, as well as make sure that they are available, ready and available when the technician actually arrives. Because we definitely want to avoid those wasted trips, and they become very expensive. For testing this, as I mentioned, make sure you're using accounts and contacts that are valid email addresses for the users that are actually testing in. Try to avoid using any customer data in there. If you're testing without using the field service mobile application, one good tip is you can actually inject the Latin longs into field service, so that you don't have to leverage the app just to test the experience. Because if there's no technician's Latin long and you don't know the location of the technician, the map will not render correctly. So real quick, I'll show you how to do that as part of your testing. So basically, you can go to Advanced Find. You go to Advanced Find. The entity you're looking for is geolocation tracking. So just select that from this dropdown. You can view the results there. This would allow you to see all the location events that have happened in the past. You say new geolocation entity, or new geolocation tracking. This will load the following form. You can name this to be whatever. The user should be the resource that is booked for this appointment. And then you can set the date and time, any date and time, present to the future, doesn't matter. And then you can set the Latin long where you want the technician to appear on the map. And this will give you a point in time at least, so you can test this experience. Yes, currently this would be created as a new portal. We are looking at plans in the near future to be able to integrate this into an existing portal. But as of today and for preview, this would be an independent standalone portal experience. Currently, there is not. It would only go to the primary contact of the service account for preview. For GA, we will be expanding that so you can select which contacts. There's multiple types of contact. There's a reported by contact. There's a secondary contact, I believe, and there's primary contact. We'll allow you the configuration options to select which contact you'll send this messaging to. However, at this time, we would only allow you to send it to one contact rather than multiple recipients.